My name is Lucas Bobes. I'm a Group Environmental Officer of Amadeus.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Breaking Travel News today. We're here at Arabian Travel Market. It's celebrating its 30th anniversary this year with the journey to net zero the focus of the show. How far advanced is the travel sector on that journey, in your opinion?
Well, as you can see by the very title of the conference, there has been a significant change. A few years ago, having such a title about net zero would be almost unthinkable, no? So I think the sector has very quickly realized that the topic of sustainability has to gain further priority, and I think the industry is making significant steps in this direction.
Great, thank you very much. What internal changes has Amadeus made to ensure it meets its target of carbon neutrality by the middle of the decade?
Well, I think there has been a significant milestone that has provoked a significant change, which was unfortunately the pandemic. No? The pandemic forced us to realize that we have underestimated the vulnerability of the industry and that we have to work on its resiliencies. And one of the areas where this is very apparent is in the area of sustainability. So, well, for good or for bad, the fact is that the pandemic has helped a lot in accelerating a lot of initiatives that were already there somehow, but that have definitely received a significant push in the recent times.
Great, thank you. And you spoke on a panel earlier in the week, Technology, the Enabler of Sustainable Travel, where the topic under discussion was which technology in the online business world is driving sustainability and are travel platforms facilitating sustainable development? So perhaps you can share with us some of the outcomes of that discussion. Which technology will be key to building sustainable travel industry?
Yeah, well, one of the interesting things about that panel, in my opinion, was that we were a group of technology companies and we all agreed that if we take sustainability seriously, we need to work together more. No? So it's not a question only about delivering technology, which in fact is very needed, especially considering that travel and tourism is a very energy-intense industry. No? The discussion turned out around one specific topic, no? Which was the sustainability frameworks that we need to foster in order to provide to the travelers clear and transparent information about sustainable travel options, just the way we do with other elements that they consider when making a travel purchasing choice, like availability, schedules, or fares. So we need to factor in sustainability as one additional component. And the topic that was discussed primarily was about how to do that in a way that is consistent with one another, because it doesn't make sense if I go in one direction and tell you that this is a sustainable trip and my fellow partners in the industry tell you that it is not and it is another thing. So we have to define what it is that we are talking about, what frameworks are we going to use, and what platforms and how are we going to communicate that to the traveler. And all of this may seem very easy, but we are trying to translate very complicated information into something very simple that can help travelers in a question of minutes when they're making a booking to make a choice. So it's a very important work that we are doing, and one in which we are very proud. No? We talked about, for example, the one organization that we have recently joined, Travelis, which is precisely aiming at this kind of objective.
Great, thank you very much. There was another panel as well, Greenwashing in Tourism, which explored some of the risks associated in overstating the sustainability of your business. So how can we ensure as an industry we can recognise truly sustainable companies?
Yeah, well, believe it or not, frankly, the topic in the end that we discussed in that panel was not that different, in the sense that if you want to define what is greenwashing and how to avoid it, first of all you have to come to an agreement about what is green. And because otherwise I think some companies will tend to push to the limit the concept of what they understand is green on their interest, and I think it's fair to do that. And the others will do exactly the opposite, to the other direction, for example, NGOs or so on. So, nonetheless, we came to some, conclusions in the sense that we have to avoid general statements that are too long-term and that cannot be verified, to something that is as much concrete as possible, that doesn't intend to solve the world, because unfortunately, sustainability is a global topic and it encompasses a lot of different things. So we can just talk about specific initiatives that we are carrying out. So we agree that we have to be super clear about what it is that we are trying to do, what are our initiatives, what are our objectives, and how can we communicate this in a manner to travelers in particular that is clear and easy to understand. That we agree that was the easiest way to avoid the feeling of greenwashing.
Great. So a lot of collaboration needed there and consistency, I think. So Travel for Impact, a programme to amplify the positive social and environmental impact of travel SMEs, went global this year. How has it been received by your partners in the market?
Well, I have to say that it's a program that has been very well received. Especially, I think SMEs are looking for advice, and in the area of travel and travel technology, it is true that they see us as a point of reference, and they expect the help from us. So we are very happy to have started this initiative in cooperation with others, and I have to say that so far it has been quite positive.
Thank you so much. And finally, Travel Tribes 2033 from Amadeus recently explored the future of the travel industry. How important will sustainability be for travellers over the next decade?
We are already seeing a significant change in the expectations of travelers, especially in leisure, but also in corporate travel. No? People of the new generations are really considering sustainability as a very important element of what they want and what they look for. No? So in the Travel Tribes reports, as you may have seen, there are different groups identified, and I would say almost all of them, if I remember well, consider sustainability as an important element. Some of them in more intensity than others, but definitely we see that is going to be quite a significant change if we compare to the current situation now, especially some years ago.
Some fascinating insights there. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.